Meet Steve Stephanides. By the end of this video, we'll let you conclude whether Steve A. has or B. had a job. Keep watching as we'll see why it's important to remember that your workplace is not a fraternity, it's not friendly, and it ain't. We rather use ain't for emphasis. And it ain't family. It's just a job. Just before we continue, we just want to remind you that JobZombie.com is here to provide you with strategies to battle employee burnout, post content, ask questions, learn wealth creation. JobZombie.com is the starting base to survive the employment apocalypse. Go to JobZombie.com and register your free account to become an official member. Now back to the video. Hopefully, as you've gone through life, you've come to realize that there are things you shouldn't depend on. Partying friends, frozen lakes, your coworkers and insurance companies, and your coworkers at your insurance company, as we'll see shortly. Insurance is a $1 trillion industry, which is ironic because it seems like there's no money available when you file a claim, as company representatives seem to want to do anything possible to deny your claim. At times, the industry lacks ethics, and trillions of dollars won't solve that. If it did, Steve would not have gone through this.
What started as an office hiking retreat turned into a rescue expedition in Colorado after a man was left behind by his coworkers. Officials say a group of 15 people started to climb 14,000-foot Mount Shavano early Friday morning, but in what might cause some awkward encounters at the office in the coming days and weeks, one member of their party was left to complete his final summit push alone.
Our subject was getting close to the summit and took a break, and some of the people who were in his group were already starting to head down. He decided to carry on up to the summit.
On their incident report, rescue crews say once Steve Stephanides started to climb down, he became disoriented, claiming his coworkers had picked up the objects which they had placed to mark the way back. Soon lost, Stephanides pin-dropped his location to his coworkers, who told him he was going the wrong way, urging him to hike back up the mountain, which he did to reach the correct trailhead. Later, Stephanides set his location a second time, but then a strong storm swept through and he lost service just before 4 p.m. His coworkers didn't report him missing until 9.
Steve is an insurance underwriter for Beasley Insurance at the time of this video. Insurance underwriters on average make $77,860 annually and can top out at $116,000 a year. So, this team-building trip to Mount Shavano wouldn't be a financial hurdle to the group. Besides, from what reports say, it was a charity event. A charity event without charity, or at least fake charity. Perhaps this may have been what Steve was after, a loving place where your colleagues care about your life. But sadly, Mr. Stephanides was naive to believe that his colleagues were actually loving people, because this proves otherwise based on this story.
He basically got kind of a little bit disoriented as to where the trail was.
Stephanides spent the night stranded on that mountain, telling rescue crews he fell repeatedly and was eventually unable to get up.
Being in those kind of cold, freezing rain winds, it takes a toll on you.
It wasn't until Saturday morning when the weather cleared that he thankfully regained cell service and called 911, allowing rescuers to finally zero in.
All of the teams that were involved are all volunteer rescuers. It's tiring, but it's rewarding when we go out and find people and are able to reunite them with their loved ones. It's fantastic.
Now, we know this man was taken to the hospital. We did reach out to him and his son. They directed us to the company, who in a statement tells us this was a charity hike, and they are grateful to the rescue crews for ensuring their colleague was returned safely. Definitely going to be a weird return to the office, though.
And this is, in fact, the perfect story to highlight the true nature of a job. Corporate world, private companies, whatever. Employers are not out for your best interest. Neither are your colleagues. Imagine going out with 14 people and not one of them cares about your well-being. To be truthful, perhaps the only reason why a call for search and rescue was made was so they wouldn't be criminally responsible if he ended up dying. Otherwise, they would have waited with him to summit and return with him. Colleagues or bosses are not your friends. They are fellow zombies trapped in employment. But you no longer have to suffer, as you can be an official survivor of the employment apocalypse, which is the title of a guide we will soon be releasing. Just visit the link in the description box below and register to be notified of its release. And, as always, thanks for watching.